Canadians want an immediate election to give the next government a strong mandate to deal with Trump's threats. Now, that's what we've been saying all along. And of course, Pierre Poilievre is also saying that. But he's really been boxed in over these retaliatory tariffs. And like I say, I completely understand why. Because he's looking at these polls and he's saying, where do I go with this? But clearly, Daniel Smith has been the only Canadian fighting for Canada in all this. Up until, we'll be watching Scott Moe in a second, but watch how Doug Ford, the faux conservative, the phony conservative from Ontario, who's always in Justin Trudeau's pocket at crucial times, whether it's during the COVID pandemic or whether it's during the Emergencies Act, Doug Ford is always in the pocket of Justin Trudeau. Doug Ford wants to exploit this situation, and here's what he's going to do.
But we need a mandate from the people. We need a mandate to protect and possibly spend billions of dollars to protect people's jobs, to protect businesses, and to protect communities. And there's only one group of people, one group that is going to give you the mandate, and that's the people, and that's what's great about democracy. They either vote a government in or they vote them out. But thanks, everybody.
There you go, folks. $528 billion EV mandate. Didn't pay off. $52 billion electric vehicle gamble. That's where Doug Ford's going to spend your money, to try to save the electric vehicles in Ontario and the great inflation. That's why he has to spend billions of dollars to so-called save jobs. This is absolutely outrageous. And this is what Doug Ford's plan for Canadians is. This is what Doug Ford wants to do, exploit the situation. He's going to run against Donald Trump too. And he also knows that if Pierre Poilievre wins the next election, traditionally in Ontario will vote one way federally and a different way provincially. In other words, for years, for decades, the PC, I've always hated that party name, Progressive Conservative. It's an oxymoron, but the Progressive Conservative Party, the Red Tory Party of Ontario, has traditionally been in power when the federal Liberals have been in power, and vice versa. Doug Ford is very concerned that Pierre Poilievre is going to become the next prime minister. We're going to have a huge Conservative majority in Ottawa, and Ontario will turf him out. So he wants to run now. And it's all about saving Doug Ford. Always everything with Doug Ford is about saving Doug Ford. He is Justin Trudeau's brother. Scott Moe is having buyer remorse about being part of Team Trudeau. Let's listen to this.
Of those very small targeted tariffs that are there to change the minds of U.S. decision makers. What we have seen since last week is some of the language change to broad-based dollar-for-dollar tariffs being counter tariffs being imposed. Saskatchewan's not in support of that. The broad-based counter tariffs are escalating. The entire conversation around tariffs will be hurtful to Canadians and will be hurtful to the entirety of North Americans, and ultimately to that North American energy and food manufacturing security that we want to achieve. Export tariffs put on by our own national government on products that we might produce here in Saskatchewan or anywhere else in Canada. Our Saskatchewan most certainly is not supportive of and would be working actively to ensure that an export tariff couldn't be applied on Saskatchewan products. And we're looking at what opportunities provinces have exercising the provincial jurisdiction as we speak when it comes to the potential of export tariffs down the way. And so the very targeted tariffs, small targeted tariffs that don't have an impact on our economy, we have had discussions with the federal government about our support for those. Broad-based tariffs, dollar-for-dollar tariffs with the U.S. is not in Canadians' best interest, nor should export tariffs ever be considered by our government.
All right, so Justin Trudeau wants Saskatchewan, but mainly Alberta to suffer.
Seek to harm Albertans any further. But I said it needs to be fair for all Canadians. We can't have one region of the country carrying a bigger burden because of Donald Trump's actions. We need to defend all of Canada. It's her job to defend Alberta.
We can talk about we're all going to suffer equally.
All of us need to bear the sacrifice that would be made if we move forward with retaliatory measures of this sort.
This is a game. This is a political game. And I'm outraged that people are not recognizing what's going on here. This is all about saving Justin Trudeau and now Doug Ford politically.